Hello, everyone. Wherever you are in the world, on this planet, this is Nathan Chu again. And sorry, I wasn't able to post a video for about a week now. So I apologize for that. I actually had an interview with Jacob Martinez. She's a member of the ACBS, or Association for uh, Contextual Behavioral Science. And he's based in Wisconsin. And we had a very interesting chat about, I think it was last Monday, and it was a lot of fun. And thank you for that interview, Jacob, if you're listening, if you ever watch this video. And for those of you interested, just go to his channel and you'll hear a little bit of a story regarding how I came up with some of the things I posted on YouTube with regard to the matrix being applied to couple issues. And I think he found it interesting, and I was quite surprised that it's something that he found new since he's in the US and I'm here in the Philippines. So it was a pleasant surprise to know that someone in the US would find something that I do here um, quite useful. All right. So today's topic, again, if you don't know me, my name is Nathan Chua. I'm a counselor here in the Philippines. I'm an ACT therapist here in the Philippines, and I work from Quezon City. And if you want to learn more about me and what I do and how I can help you with your life issues, just go to my website, onelifeonly.net, and please do like and subscribe this channel so you'll be notified when I come up with a new video. And today's video would be about anger. Okay, so for those of you who don't know the matrix yet, I probably would advise you to just look up YouTube. There are a lot of ACT matrix videos out there, and one of the most famous ones would be Dr. Kevin Polk's videos. And why? Because he was the originator of this uh, model of showing the concepts behind the psychological or behavioral flexibility skills as enumerated in the ACT model of therapy, or acceptance commitment therapy. So sa mga kababayan ko, sorry if I speak English about 90% of the time, because I have to, you have, you know, some people who are not Tagalog speaking would be listening to this. And I hope you understand that I try to limit the Tagalog so people won't get lost in the uh, words that I share about this particular matrix. And this is close to my heart. Anger has been an issue and will be an issue for probably the day I die, right? But there are many ways in which we can handle anger, by which we can handle anger. And one of them is through the ACT approach or the ACT matrix. So the ACT matrix really simplifies a lot of things. It's kind of giving you a bird's eye view of what's going on in your life and how you're approaching anger and what's keeping you stuck. All right. So again, this is towards, just a quick review. Toward means things that you do toward the life you want or being the person you want to be, and away means things you run away from, because some of the things you want to be really involves a lot of difficult emotions. Like if you want to be in a loving relationship, well, anger will show up. You know, your mind would like to tell you, your problem-solving mind would like to tell you that you can have a relationship and not be angry at all. So the bottom line here is that anger is not the problem. We all get angry. I normally say this to my clients. Uh, if you know the Dalai Lama, well, he is very angry. He's angry at the injustice that's being done to some of his to his people in that part of the world. But he can feel the anger, but he can act calmly, just as Russ Harris would say. You may not be calm inside, but you can act calmly. You may not be calm emotionally, but your actions can relay a message of indignation without being harsh. Okay? So for my American friends, I'm not sure. I'm not a very good student of history, but I think an example I would use is, Martin Luther King Jr. He was certainly angry about the injustice that was going on, but he acted in peace. All right. So, early on in my life, I couldn't understand how that works because I thought that some people can really trigger my anger. And once my anger is triggered, I can't help it but do something that's hurtful or do something that's not in line with what I want to be or not in line with my deepest aspirations for who I want to be and what kind of life I want to live. All right. So, whoever out there is suffering from anger issues, well, uh, if we look at towards, all right, and inside, just a quick review again. Inside means things that go on inside our bodies. Outside means things that we do that people can watch with the camera. Okay. So let's say toward and inside, you know what? You're angry. You and I are angry because we like being caring, right? You and I get angry because we like being helpful. You and I get angry because we want being just, you know. And first 20 years of my career was a businessman, and I would justify the way I acted out my anger by saying, I want to help you. I want to help you guys. I care about you. I care about our future. I'm angry at certain things that I see around me because I feel the injustice that's going on. So as long as it's all inside here, there's nothing wrong really, because these are all peop things people cannot see. They're not hurting anyone by being angry inside. Just like Russ Harris said in his one of his workshops, nobody ever got into trouble with anger. It's what we do with the anger that gets us into trouble. All right. So I just listened to Stephen Hayes in an interview for Big Thinker. I think Big Think. Yeah, that's the title of the channel. And he said something like, you know, how can you say that you need to remove an emotion before you can be caring, before you can be helpful, before you can be just? All right, you can't, because this is part of us. This is not. There is no science that tells us that there's a germ or there's an enzyme or there's a chemical in our bodies that make us angry. All right. The science is not there yet. If there's a science out there that tells us that we can take a certain drug and stop getting angry or anger inside of us, well, take it. But right now, there's no healthy way for us to get rid of these difficult emotions that we have. And again, we're angry because there's a flip side to our anger, because we care. We want to help people. We want to be just. We want to see a more just society. All right. So, I mean, you know, I could probably guess 99% of you out there who are struggling with your anger have this behind it. If you don't have this behind it, I don't know. I haven't met a person who probably is just angry because he or she wants to be angry. All right. So let's turn to here. Now, when we're angry, we want usually to get rid of this anger, right? Well, you're making me angry. That person is making me angry. All right. So I want this anger to disappear. So I kind of lash out, right? That's one way to get rid of your anger. Get it off your chest, right? It's a very good metaphor for it. Okay. You lash out, you scream or yell, or you make a sarcastic comment, all right? Or you walk out or withdraw, right? Wow, there's a lot of things. There are a lot of things you can do to kind of, I don't want you making me angry. You have to stop making me angry. Or you can be argumentative. You can be nitpicking people, you know. So you can criticize, all right? Or you can give them the silent treatment. All of these are the objective, the solution that we use to get rid of the anger, right? Maybe if I make a, I usually tell my clients, it works sometimes. Sometimes you lash out and you get your way, right? So it's just like winning the slot machine, in the slot machine. Sometimes you win, so you keep doing it. The intermittent reinforcement that we get out of our anger. Sometimes you're able to bully someone into submission, right? But how long does it last? Well, that's another whole conversation there, you know. So uh, now if we try to use this, so again, the question there is, okay, so when you're angry, you do this, right? You make a sarcastic comment, you scream, you lash out, or you walk out. All right. Now, what are the chances of that person, maybe that employee of yours, or that coworker of yours, or that boss of yours, or that spouse or partner of yours? What are the chances that that person will end up not making you angry ever again? Well, if you permanently walk out, yes, right? But if you walk out of something that's important in your life, is it worth the cost, right, of doing that and lose someone you care for, or lose the business that helps you, take care of your family, or lose the employee or the job, you know, that helps you do things that, you know, help you with your self-care, help you care for the people you care about, right? So if you're unless you black out and suddenly, you know lose all kinds of memory or thinking, you will be angry again. It will never end, and it's just like a self-fulfilling a negative feedback loop. And once you're angry, then you'll have thoughts like, well, uh, I'm really an angry person, you know I'm really so helpless against my anger. I mean, what person would do that out of anger, right? Okay. Unless he or she is an angry person. Okay. So if you were being caring, right, what would you be doing? You would speak assertively, maybe, right? With kindness or respect, right? You would probably, let's say, sometimes just let go, right? It's a minor thing. Why make a fuss, right? You could probably, let's say, um, make a make a civil comment. Let's say if you were commenting on something uh, about civil rights, like Martin Luther King, right? Some of the most beautiful uh, prose or words that have been spoken, you know, out of that indignation against injustice. All right. Okay. So, so there are ways here. Now, I'm going to share with you a little secret of mine. Nah, it's not a secret. It's actually something I read from a book. I think I read it from the Diet Trap. Okay. And it kind of helps me, if you ever come across that phrase, relational frame theory. I know it sounds very technical, but there's a kind of framing that, uh, well, it's kind of language that we use to describe a point of view, a perspective. All right. So this kind of helped me a lot in my own struggles with anger, how I dropped my struggle with anger, how I've come to accept that I will be angry, that behind this anger is something I really care for, something that I want to be. I want to be helpful. I want a more just society. All right. And it goes like this. It's a little bit of a metaphor here. If you had a friend who you enjoyed jogging with every Saturday morning, let's say, so it's just fun jogging. All right. You're just having fun, but it's also like killing two birds with one stone. It's like doing your exercise, but at the same time, uh, having a good time with your friend, bonding with your friend. Okay. So here's how it goes. This is not original. I read it from a book. Uh, let's say one day your friend got injured and your friend can't jog as fast as he or she or they could in the past, right? So it kind of diminishes the purpose of going out for a jog with your friend. No, one of the things that you do it for is maybe something over here to in the lower right hand corner. So part of it is being a friend, right? Being a loving friend, okay? And part of it was also being healthy, right? Physically healthy, right? So it's no longer something more that challenges your, let's say, endurance, because your friend can't run as fast as you do anymore. And maybe it could be something permanent, right? So usually I ask my clients, well, if that happens, would you still do the jog with your friend? Even if you're no longer killing two birds with one stone, you're kind of just being there as a loving friend. I guess about 95% of the time, or maybe even 99% of the time, people will tell me, yes, I would do it. I would still run with my friend. Well, that's sort of a metaphor for, let's say, for those of you who have struggles with your, for those in the Philippines, you struggle a lot with, I see a lot of clients who handle people who are like executives in their companies. I was one in the past, and I didn't know this back then. I didn't know this back then. So I wish I could just turn back time, you know, and it's like, uh, yeah, you people make you angry, yes, yes, but that's all just inside you. But with your anger, you can actually still be civil. You can still kind of make a gentle reminder. And this story about a friend who's injured and who's also your jogging mate really hits me and makes me realize that we all have our past histories behind us. This employee of yours may not have been able to uh, go to have the privilege to go to you know, a good school like you. Um, he or she may have had some trauma in the past. So, all of us. So you can flip sides. You get a perspective of what if I was the one who was injured? How would I feel if my friend still accepted me and still went jogging with me, right? So it's a very rich metaphor. It could apply to couples. It could apply to friends. It could apply to, uh, you know, uh, employee-employer relationships. You can be the employee and your boss sort of acts like that, but maybe you can see behind her eyes or his eyes or their eyes and see that they've been injured in the past. All right. And that really helps me, especially when time comes when I get really angry at certain people. And I realized that pretty late. I wish I knew this earlier. Um, this is a lovely, lovely story of how you can put your feet in the other person's shoes. All right. And you know what? There's a quote that I read from the book Reconcilable Differences by Dr. Andrew Christensen, Neil Jacobson, and Brian Doss. And it's a wonderful quote. And it says, it goes something like this: change is the brother of acceptance, but it is the younger brother. So, I can attest to this. I realized if, you know, I'm a little gruff at people, uh, people tend to return the same gruffness uh, against me. All right. Or if I'm angry, then I get an angry remark, an angry response. But if I'm accepting, if I'm kind of putting my feet in their shoes, like, this person, you know, and I also learned this from pro social, like we're all built, there's a built-in quality in us, evolutionarily speaking, that we're all pro-social. We're doing things, but sometimes we go astray because we listen to that problem-solving mind instead of our cooperative minds. All right. So I guess that's about it. This is a really personal thing to me. And if I only can turn back time and hopefully, uh, you know, I'm still a work in progress. And lately, I've seen some success in the way I handle anger, especially with that story of an injured friend, and also knowing that when I accept someone and kind of kindly remind them of what I want them to do, instead of yelling or screaming or them, nagging at them. Uh, well, I realize the wisdom behind those words. If people feel accepted, people feel that they're understood, they're more likely to perform in a way, that you would want them to, because they will try very hard, because we're pro-social creatures. Okay. All right. So that's about it, and hope you enjoyed this video that I created for you. And again, this is Nathan Chua from onelifeonly.net, and I welcome you if you like and subscribe this YouTube video. And with your subscription, with your likes, YouTube would suggest this to other people, especially your loved ones who are also struggling with anger. And if you're struggling with anger and you want to share this to your friends, go ahead. And thank you for listening. And I'll see you. I'll post this on Spotify also. And I'll see you soon for the next video. All right. You take care, have fun, and always be kind. Bye bye.